Okay, this is the hot water boiler relief valve. These are used on, well, this one's probably residential because it's fairly small. But this would be used on a hot water boiler, just heats water and pumps it around. It's rated at 790,000 BTUs per hour. If it were a steam boiler, it would be rated differently. Number one, it would not be at 30 psi. 30 psi is a hot water boiler pressure. It'd be 15 if it's a low pressure boiler. And it would be rated in pounds of steam per hour down here instead of BTUs. But this is your pop-off or your relief valve for the hot water boiler. Every boiler, every pressure vessel of any type has to have a relief valve, and it can't be isolated from the boiler. It has to be connected directly to it. There can't be any valves in the line or anything like that. And I'll go over the design of these things. I've cut this one away. This one is for a residential boiler, 3/4 in and of course 3/4 out. These things are, you really can't fool these things. The only way you can stop these things from working is to put a plug in the end. If you put a plug in the end of one of these things, your liability goes way up. I would never ever leave any sort of pressure relief valve with a plug in the outlet. Sometimes people will put a plug in the outlet because it weeps. It means it's leaking a little bit. But if you put it in there, you have removed any safety on this machine. So that could easily explode. So this little spring holds down the valve. Now I'll take that thing apart. Okay, here's where they take it apart. It was normally put together like that. That's the plunger valve. Here's the seat that it fits on. You can see this valve is extremely simple. It just fits in there like that. If there's pressure from in here over 30 pounds, then the spring moves up and it blows off. Very simple. I have seen people put clamps on this. Well, I should tell you what that is first. This, if I wanted to test this, I could go like that, and that will lift that valve off the seat, and it'll blow out. Oftentimes I've seen where people have taken a clamp and clamped like a C-clamp across here to try to stop this thing from leaking. If it just happens to be leaking, that won't make any difference. It'll pop off anyway. You can't stop them from going off that way. One of the things that you can do, the manufacturers tell you that you should test these things every year or so. If it hasn't been tested for quite a while, there's a very good chance it's going to weep when you're done. So it's going to leak a little bit of water out. To try to avoid that, you should probably be testing it at least every season. But you're going to get a call back if you test it and it blows off, blows off normally, then it starts to weep. So, a couple things you can do. Bleed it several times, because what's happened is garbage has gotten into this between the seat and the valve. You can tap the side of this fairly lightly with a hammer. Don't get rambunctious, because anything you do to this valve, it's not going to stop it from blowing off. You can see that even if I wailed on the side of this thing, it wouldn't really make any difference. It would probably just start leaking more. But you can tap on the side of it and maybe that'll stop it. But that is the boiler pop-off, or relief valve, whichever you want to call it. Very simple valve.